Yeah.
Come on down.
Right, so this is Dr. Aarti Denning. So, yes, so I'm going to give you the microphone so you can give me some background. So, pardon? Oh, no, you won't have to. Yeah, you're going to be, you volunteered? Okay.
So I think we'll just do this. I was planning we'd do this and then wrap it up, and you can give a bit more detail about the session, and then we'll do it. I'm sure you are. So have a seat. Have a seat. Now, you'll have to use the microphone, otherwise we can't hear you. So, tell us your name.
I'm Aarti.
Aarti. That's a good name. I like that. Are you very arty? Are you very arty?
Well, I'd like to think so.
Good.
Some of my patients do say I am.
Excellent. So you're a doctor, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I've got you there. Okay. So, Dr. Aarti, and tell me again, this is not the interview, but just so I understand who you are and what we might talk to you about, tell me a bit about what you specialise in and what you do.
And I'm what you call a medical aesthetic doctor, so an MAD. Don't get me started on that. So I'm a GP who fully specializes in doing non-surgical cosmetics. What these are, everything that doesn't involve a knife, really.
Yes. Okay. And where are you based, Aarti?
Winchester.
Winchester, okay. And just tell me, because you said a second ago that there's a particular reason, a particular thing you've got happening. So just, again, so that I would understand the background, what that is.
For my sins, I've been asked to support a colleague who's done a petition recently, which is very successful, about beauty therapists should not be doing medical treatments.
Yeah.
And I've been asked to be her double act or her backup, wherein she can be the human factor, she can be the emotive human interest factor, and when there are any difficult sticky questions about the regulation and things like that, I can back her up and make sure that she can pass her message on and I can pass this on.
Okay.
And that's a bit sudden, but I have no previous media exposure.
All right. Well, hopefully you learned from what Sophie said. So I won't ask you exactly the same questions, but I'll ask you some of the same questions. Aarti, thanks very much for talking to me about this. I understand that you're saying that this problem of unqualified and untrained beauty therapists giving treatments, is this a growing problem, or is this something that is now being stamped out but not disappeared?
It's a good question, Tom. This has been creeping upon us for quite some time. The reason it's become a bit very important right now is because there are more doctors coming into this arena. At the same time, there are more other beauty therapists or anyone with non-medical getting the requisite training and being certified to do it. So it's we've got two streams of professionals trying to converge on the same business. And that's where the question arises, if you can do it, why can't we?
Right. But a lot of people would say that these are very simple injections, and your problem is that you're probably charging twice as much as the beauty therapists, and you're pricing yourselves out of the market, aren't you?
I'm very happy to say I'm not. And recently I found out we were actually highly affordable compared to beauty therapists, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make. We are not trying to argue on the price at all. It's a question
So how much do you charge compared with what a beauty therapist charges?
I would say, I'm speaking only for myself here, and I don't want to get bogged into that, but I would say it's a bit more affordable if you consider no offers from the beauty therapist and my year-round pricing. This is where I must say, there is a regulation upon us as doctors that we should not give financial inducements to a patient to have a treatment, so we don't do offers.
Are we still seeing this thing of people giving 2-for-1 treatments and all those sorts of things?
That a doctor must not do.
But this is what the beauty therapists are still doing.
As a business, there is nothing stopping them from doing that. So our point of what we are trying to project is how the patient is a patient and the patient is our patient, and this is a medical treatment, and we'll approach it accordingly. Whether it is simple or complex, we'll approach it with the same respect that we would do any medical treatment.
But nonetheless, there are lots and lots of stories about greedy doctors, aren't there, as well as greedy beauty therapists. And there are many doctors who are making a fortune in private practice and they're not doing their NHS work. I mean, you're a GP, you said. Shouldn't you be focusing on your general patients who need your help instead of making lots of money out of aesthetic treatments?
If I told you that I'm probably the only cosmetic doctor who sold her BMW Z4, which she drove as a GP registrar, within 1 year of becoming a cosmetic doctor, and I now drive a third-hand Renault Modus.
Doesn't that suggest you can't be very good at your job?
Or the other way around, I could probably be great. In fact, many of my patients actually said, is that your car? Okay, I believe you now. So greed is a pervasive emotion. No one can get away from it. But being regulated means you choose between your personal gain and the value of your PIN or your registration number.
I suppose what I'm getting at is that a lot of people would say you just want this to be a closed shop so that you can put up the barriers around yourselves, you can get all the revenue, you can get all the business, and just to shut everybody out because it suits you.
That is one of the things which people would say, I agree. And that is where the question of who should be doing it, the attitude of the person who should be doing it. When I say, I know this is a boring thing, but regulation and insurance are going to play a big role here. Anyone can get insured. That comes on after the fact. But the regulation is what stops you from doing that harm to the patient. So that's
Are you saying that there's a lot of beauty therapists who have no insurance who are doing this?
No, they all have regulation, but they all have insurance, sorry. They have insurance, but insurance kicks in only after the fact, only after something has gone wrong.
But that's all insurance, isn't it? You only need the insurance when something's gone wrong.
Yeah, but we have something else that no one else has. We have a code to which we must abide that stops us from doing anything that could potentially be wrong. Like when we give options to, if you came to me and said, oh, can I, don't be offended, but if you said, can I do something, get my hair put back here? And I would then have to take you through everything, including doing nothing, doing something, what would happen often and what would happen rarely. And I have to do that if I have to be proper doctor.
Yes, but Aarti, do you think that all doctors are as well behaved, if you like, as you are?
Get them under
Because there are some very bad, dodgy doctors, aren't
Get
there?
them under the same ruling and they will be.
No, but there are plenty of dodgy doctors. Ask Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but the GMC is pretty good. I trust the GMC. And it's an independent regulator. Anyone, give them a choice, they'll have to make that choice.
All right.
See? But we have a robust system that's taking care of it. And when you don't I know it's a difficult question.
All
It's
right.
a great heavy question.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Aarti. Thank you. All right, well, stay put for a moment. Don't run away. Quickly, how did you feel about that? How did you do?
I think I could have done better, but I must say I felt good.
Good.
Because I was just talking to you,
Yes.
and this is something I'm very passionate about.
Yes.
At the same time, I just wanted to know.
What did you miss?
You're going to tell me that, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah. That's why I'm asking you first, to see if you worked it out as well. Look, I'll tell you what I think you missed. No, Aarti, what I think Aarti missed is if her real point, her message she wanted to get across was that there's a real problem about unlicensed, unregulated beauty therapists. What you need to do, first of all, is really paint a clear picture of what goes wrong when you have the wrong people doing these treatments and what are the risks involved and why people should be so aware of that. Because otherwise a lot of people say, well, I go to this person, she's absolutely fine, she knows what she's doing, I haven't got a problem. And I might not realise that there are so many risks. So if I asked you now, paint a picture for me about what can go wrong if you go to an unlicensed, an unlicensed somebody who's not a doctor, just a therapist.
Right, the local beauty salon says 2 areas for the price of 3. And they say, yeah, we'll give you Botox injections here, and everywhere. And the patient goes in there, and they neglect to tell them that they've had some sort of treatment here before, and they get a jab in a blood vessel, which normally would just be a little bruise and go away, but for them, and they're also on some sort of medication, which is unusual, and then they get a really disfiguring problem, or they have a lip treatment, it goes and blocks the blood vessel, and then half of their lip goes black. Now, this is the thing that you're going to see up there, saying horrible noses gone, lips gone, and you know the scare pictures.
So why didn't you tell me that in the interview?
Yeah, I missed it. I should have told that. I think Sophie did it so well before. It's like it was almost like I was following on from what she said.
Stop it, Aarti. No. Look, you understand the point I'm making is that what you just told me now, after the interview, was much more powerful, wasn't it, than what Aarti actually said during the interview. And so that's the learning point that I want you to take away from this, that it's, you know, very often, because you're just responding to my questions, you're not really getting in control of the main points that you want to get across.
I felt that somehow I was only...
You were just following me, weren't you?
Rather than...
Exactly. So that's why it takes a bit of preparation, so that you really think, well, actually, what would really make people understand why I, Aarti, feel so passionate about this? Whereas if you talk in generics, and, you know, Sophie talked about, you know, holistic faces or whatever it was, and you just talked, you know, quite generically in some of the points that you made. I'm just saying...
Same term, whole face approach.
Yes, whole face approach, and what the heck's that about when it's at home, you know?
You treat your whole face, not part of your
Well, I
face.
know, but you know, people don't understand what you mean by that in practice. Because I might think, well, my cheeks are lovely, they don't need any treatment, or my chin is, oh, all right, thank you. But you get the point I'm making, is if you paint a real picture in vivid language of really how people's experience has been transformed, either by getting it wrong or getting it right, that's when people will engage and relate to the story you've told. So turn it into more of a story, and don't use the generic thing. You didn't. I asked you about costs, and you said that your costs were very competitive, or even less. Tell me about that, because you didn't tell me what it costs, because I don't know. I'm an outsider. I don't know exactly what these sorts of treatments. So maybe that's part of the scandal, that there will be unqualified people charging huge amounts of money for bad treatments. And actually, if you come to a properly qualified person like yourself, you might not just get the right person doing the treatment, but pay less for it as well. Why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, there's this thing about not sharing the prices.
No, but you understand my point. You don't have to necessarily, but you could talk, for instance, about you know, a price that you've seen somebody quoted by an unqualified person that you think is inappropriate or over the top, without telling me what your prices
For
are.
example, the girl who said 3 areas for the price of for 3 areas for 200.
Yes.
She did not need the third area at all. She
Exactly.
was very young and very nothing. And her treatment would have cost only £180 with me.
Yes, so you don't necessarily have to give away prices that you don't want to give away, but you could get that point across. So she thought she was getting a bargain, but she paid £300 for something that, you know, she should only pay for 200, which she didn't need. Yeah.
What she wanted from me.
All right, well, thank you very much indeed, Aarti. Thank you. So I think it's a good moment to wrap up, isn't it? Pam?